it's not as good, it's this and that. I'd say it's a little less valid, but it is still good. A coordinated dive can win games extremely easily. There are at least one team, there's probably a handful in the Ignite tournament that is a very high prize pool, and people are running dive in that tournament. They still do that in such a very top of the league, high level play. I want to talk about how to oh my god, not die or dive. I want to talk about how to counter that. So this enemy team is running Psylocke, Panther, and Spider-Man and Thor. Pretty heavy dive. It could be better, but still a pretty heavy dive. Now, it's important to take into note what you should play, of course. That's pretty much the most important thing. There's also like how you should play and whatnot. So,
Goodbye for now.
if we look at our lineup, we have Scarlet Witch, Mag, Cloak, Invis, Strange, and Mr. Fantastic. This is a very good anti-dive comp, and the only thing I would change is the Strange Zone thing. So for Scarlet Witch, she counters Psylocke, she counters Spider-Man, and she also counters this Ultron. I was killing him a lot. So I counter consistently two of their dives, which is Psylocke and Spider-Man.
I don't know if I can go on without you.
That's already two people down. I can take care of that. I can take care of the Spider-Man very easily, and the reason is because I can get them low enough before they get a kill, before they fulfill the dive, right? Because my damage output in that tracking it's too high, and their time to kill is too low. Panther, however, Scarlet Witch does not counter. Does not counter Panther. He is too fast. I play Panther all the time. I've mastered that character. I can tell you with full certainty, Panther is way too fast for Scarlet Witch alone to counter. He will kill the support before Scarlet Witch can get him either dead or low enough for someone else to clean up. So, we have Mr. Fantastic now stepping in. Mr. Fantastic does counter Black Panther. I know that sounds strange because Mr. Fantastic's time to kill can be kind of slow. However, Mr. Fantastic has like 3 to 4 abilities that slow and displace you. That is one of the Black Panther's worst nightmares, is being displaced. It sucks. It is the actual worst. Because you have to be very, very precise with your dashes and your kicks and the spears and all that. You have to be pretty precise. The spears is AoE, so you know. But his kit requires a very high sense of precision and accuracy. So if you get displaced, it messes that all up. It sucks. So I have Mr. Fantastic doing that. So now I counter their Spider-Man and Psylocke, and Mr. Fantastic helps with those, obviously, if they dive together. And then Mr. Fantastic takes on the Black Panther, and I'll also help with that if I can. You just saw the worst ult in existence. I died immediately. That was a literal panic ult.
My fate now.
That was actually terrible. So, now, for the healers. We have Cloak and Invis. I'm pretty sure they stayed Cloak and Invis whole game. These healers are actually very good against dive.
Us against the world.
Because of their survivability. These are probably the healers I would not want to go up against the most, especially if they're competent. A bad Cloak can be killed pretty easily, right? you can deal with a bad cloak pretty easily. They're usually common kills for dive, right? They see a cloak and they're like, oh yeah, that's gonna be easy. However, if you're competent and you know how to play cloak, if you really know how to play cloak and dagger, you can survive a dive pretty well.
The multiverse offers
So if we're
endless
specifically talking about
possibilities,
cloak,
but
she
only
has the
survives
invulnerability,
this chaos.
she has a healing bubble, and her primary healing also does splash. So if you're right next to someone, it will heal you as well.
Get ready.
Now I believe they buffed that healing bubble as well, so it does more healing.
Wow.
We're in this together, Tandy Bowen.
So
Get the stars out of your eyes and
let's say you get dove by a panther.
the fate of many worlds is
If you get dove by a panther and you place your healing bubble down and you go invulnerable, maybe on a second or third dash, first maybe, if you're quick enough, and stay in that healing bubble, that panther now has no way to kill you. Unless someone else comes in and he just keeps slashing at you and you don't fight back. This is also important. As a healer who is diving you, you need to fight back. Let's say you're getting peeled, right? Your team is peeling you. Good. However, it is extremely important that you also partake in killing the dive. You need to be quick about it. You need to kind of bounce back between healing and killing. This is what separates a bad healer from a good healer. A good healer, when getting dove, let's say your cloak, will bubble themselves, will time their invulnerability correctly, will stay in their healing bubble, and while their team is peeling for you, you will switch between healing your team that's peeling you against the dive and killing the dive. It can be a little tricky, but it's good. It can happen. It works. It's what you're supposed to do if you want to survive. Because if you don't, then that dive might just kill you, even though you're being peeled. As a Black Panther player, many times, I have dove a cloak, a Luna,
Sometimes I forget you
Invis,
were literally
Rocket,
born for this.
and their team peels them. But those healers do not shoot me as well. They kind of heal the people who are away, who are on the front line and not peeling.
So cool. This should help me heal.
So I end up getting them because I'm not really taking on that much fire. I'm not taking on that much damage. There's only maybe 1-2 people. And I'm quick. I'm a panther. I'm quick, right? So I can pretty much get out of there and get my kill before I die.
Better watch your back. Simply magical.
So for Invis,
Feeling stronger already.
Invis is also a very big enemy to dive. I would say a lot of people underestimate Invis' ability to survive a dive, and they think Raccoon Rocket is better. I would argue Rocket is not better. I think Invis is better. Because if you're diving, you have a combo that you want to do. You have pretty much a time limit. And by the end of that combo, if you do not get a kill, you need to leave. Invis is 275 HP. So, if by the end of this combo, she gets healed or does not die, I need to leave. I can't do anything. I need to kick out, dash out, and go. And what will happen many times is that they'll jump away. Now, a good dive is someone that will watch for them to jump away and wait to hit them as they're jumping, so they are revealed in their invisibility. But a good invis will stay with their team, get healed by their other team, or they will time their jump. So if there's this invis, real person, and she sees dash, right as I turn around, she's going to jump. And I'm going to miss that dash because she timed it. She didn't immediately see that and jump because the spear is AoE. If she jumps as I spear her, she's probably going to get revealed. So you need to time your jumps. That's what probably separates a good invis from a bad invis, is timing and knowing when to use your abilities. Same thing with cloak. You know, that's really kind of the skill gap with heals, is just knowing when to use your abilities and ults. Is just a big thing when you're facing a dive as a support. So those healers are very, very good against dive. I'd only really say Loki is on par as well. However, I'd also argue Loki can actually die very easily because Loki's abilities are on such a high cooldown. If you're facing a Loki and Loki's 250 HP too, so he dies pretty quickly. If I'm facing a Loki and he puts his lamps, what am I going to do? I'm going to run. And since my cooldowns are on an 8-second timer and his are on like 20, 40, I'm going to wait for those lamps to go away. And when I see them come back, I'll either kill him or he'll be healed by then, right? He's going to TP away. He's going to, I'm getting Dove again. TP away. Okay, well now his TP's gone. So what happens now? I wait again. I find him. I either kill him there, or he goes invis. Okay. Well, now his invis is gone. But I know his lamps are going to be back soon. So I'm keeping a keen eye out. I finally find him after invis. I don't know how that didn't... I don't think that registered. But, and then kill him there. It's just because his cooldowns are so long compared to all the other healers that I don't think he actually is that good against dive. I don't. I think a good dive destroys a bad or good Loki. I do. I would much rather have a invis and cloak, just because if they're good and they know how to do it, then they'll be much better against a dive. And a lot of people might be kind of confused when I say cloak, because a lot of people don't really like her because her healing can be just under enough of what you need in those important moments, and her ult can be countered by a lot of things. However, I have faced dive many times while playing cloak and dagger, and I can't tell you how many times a cap has dove me. And all I do is this. I bubble, I go dagger, or cloak.
Don't know him.
What is this even called? Terror cape? Yeah, I use the terror cape to make them weaker and blind. And then I shoot him. And my team peels with me. He dies or runs away in like 2 seconds. I switch back. This is on, so. You know, terror cape. Shoot, shoot. My team's peeling. Okay, he's running away, or he's dead. Oh, these guys are low. There's the blanket heals. Oh, my bubble's back up. Team fight going on. I don't. And I mean, that's it. You know? It's not hard. You just need to time it and know what to do and not panic. It's just so many times. Bubble. Switch to cloak. Terror cape. Beam him down, and you can do this solo too. Because the healing bubble does so much healing, because it got buffed, I'm pretty sure.
Deceit catches up with you in the end.
You can just stay in your bubble, make sure you hit this, and you can do it solo. If it's a solo dive. If it's just a cap or another dive. If it's more than one, you're gonna need a team to peel to survive, because it's gonna be too much damage. But the higher rank you go, people should be peeling more, and you'll see it more often, or you can say it in chat or voice chat, and people will be like, oh, yeah.
My turn to
Sometimes they
shine.
won't. Sometimes you're just screwed, but you know, that's not every time.
Double KO.
So the last bit I want to talk about is tanks. We can go over what tanks are good for dive. Captain America is not good to counter dive. Strange is okay, but it's not that good because usually dive is very quick and he has projectiles. His AoE can do a lot, but he needs to do damage to build it up. So if he doesn't already have it built up and he's relying on building that AoE up on damaging the dive, it's not that reliable because it's going to be harder to hit. Hulk isn't too bad. He has a bubble. He's melee, so he can kind of just swing around. And he can kind of jump back and forth. He's not that bad. But I wouldn't really rely on it too much because his damage is pretty low. Mag is good. Mag can bubble you for a pretty long time. I think it's longer than Hulk's. I haven't really tested it out. I'm going to test it out right here.
Charles dreamed of a safe haven
2,
for all mutants.
3.
At last.
It's like 3 seconds, 3-4 seconds.
I'm not Hulk.
But I like Mag though because he has a shield to block his abilities, your abilities. 3. Yeah, I think it's like slightly. I think Mag's is slightly longer. Because anyway, Mag can shield if they're using a projectile or hit stand dive. And he can also bubble you. And that can save you a lot. It's pretty reliable. Venom's okay if they can aim. If they can't aim, you're kind of screwed. But a Venom can slam you and pause. But he can, swing up, see you're getting dove, slam back down on his back line. And he can tether them and shoot them, melee, combo, blah, blah, blah. He's not bad, but you need a high level, you need a high skill Venom to really peel for you. The average, bad Venom isn't really it's not gonna make those shots. Groot, he has a nice AoE grenade, but like, you can usually, you can take, because Groot, his primary is like kind of weird. Like it does a lot of damage, but you have to hit it, and this is kind of hard to hit on like a Panther or a Spider-Man. So I wouldn't really trust it. Thor is actually okay. Thor, you kind of push, or you can displace a lot of people, and that can be really annoying.
The wrath of Asgard.
As for Emma's very good. You can obviously grab, you can kick, you can use a shield. This is a really good counter dive. A lot of people ban her for that reason. Penny's also pretty good with the Rocket team up. That is also very, very nice. She has a 3-second stun CC, so she can stun a lot. She does headshots for extra damage now. She can place mines and they can't be destroyed in the web. Place the web trap.
Double KO.
Does it show a sign for
That's 3.
like what the? Wait, I thought this. Yeah, it does. Should add this. Oh yeah,
In a row.
that looks cool. Little web symbol on the kill feed. Anyway, this is very nice because many times you'll dive into the web trap because as a healer you should be standing on this if it's in a good spot for you, and you'll be webbed. Like you'll web the dive, and they'll get blown up by mines, so they can't do anything because they're CC'd. Thing is, so Penny's good, but Thing is also extremely good, especially against Panthers. Thing really shuts down Panther, because let's say, as a Thing you're facing a Panther, you need to slam, and all in this area, they cannot use any mobility movements, and all of Panther's abilities are movement except the spear. Now, it's a little, I've seen some bad feints, and the reason they're bad is because they don't slam correctly. What you need to do with the anti-street charge and, slam for simplicity's sake, Slam your healers. Do not try to slam the dive. Slam your healers. The healers, the diver's goal is the healers. So don't waste your time tracking them all over the place. Look at your healer. Imagine this is your healer and just slam it. It won't do anything to them, but it gives them a safe circle to stand in. So if they're facing a panther and you see your healer getting dove, slam them, and before they can get a dash or the second dash in, they'll be completely stopped and they'll have to leave. Or else they're just going to die. So you need to slam your healers. You don't need to slam the dive.
It's clobbering time!
You need to slam the healers.
Double kill.
It's a very important thing to note. Because it's very easy to kind of be brainless and just try and slam them. No. Slam the dive. Slam, oh my god. Slam the healers. So my best kind of matchup for tanks against dive would be probably Mad Thing or Mad Emma for the bubble and choke, or for the slam. I could do Penny, but Penny isn't really, like, she gets countered by a handful of things, so I'd rather have like stronger tanks, just so when the dives aren't diving, you can actually hold something like the front line.
It's clobbering time!
And there you go.
That's how we do it on
We also watched a game that gameplay was important, where we countered dive extremely easy. And we made them throw. We countered their dive so hard that they threw. So that's how you do it.